Hello, students. Hope you all are doing well. In this lesson, we will be talking about enterprise. It is something that you have already studied in your IGCSE, but in AS A level, we are going to focus more on critical thinking. We will study more case studies and we are going to think and plan more. Okay, so yeah, in the last class we already did the case study. Case studies are the very important part in A levels. Okay, so we'll be starting the lesson now. So it is page number 3. So what they're saying here, we already did the case study in which we discussed that how Julep was starting a business and how he was keeping in mind that he need to be concerned about the environment. He was, for every tree he used to cut, he used to plant 2 more trees. Okay, that other than that, what else we have studied in this, that he was ready to take risk. That is very important part when you are doing the business. He was taking loan, he left his job. Other than that, he was taking care of the environment, plus he was taking care of the economy by thinking about exporting. So whenever you export, your business gets money from the other country, that helps your economy to grow. Now what we will talk about, much of this book is concerned with how these decisions are made, the information needed to make them, and the techniques that can assist the managers. So in IGCSE level, you were talking about how the business work, types and everything. But here in AS level, you talk from more managerial point of view. You are going to discuss more of the stuff that is basically related to planning and critical thinking. Okay, so this chapter explains, and this enterprise chapter, what you're going to talk about in this enterprise chapter, you will talk about the business environment, the business relationships with other businesses, and how business environments affect businesses. Okay, so that we will be discussing about the role of enterprise in setting up and developing business. So how you will be setting up a business, what is the role of setting up, how you're going to plan, all these things will be discussed in this chapter. What else we are going to talk about? We'll be talking about what is the purpose of business activity. So what is the purpose of basically a business activity? A purpose of a business activity is any organization that uses resources to meet the needs of the customer. Okay, so if there is any organization that what they are trying to do, they are trying to produce the resources, they are trying to produce the get the resources and produce goods and services for the customers. So every business has certain goal, every business has a certain idea or criteria according to which they will get the resources and then they will produce something. Let's move further. What business do? What do business do? So what, first of all, the most important thing that every business will be doing is that they will be identifying the customer needs. Identifying the customer need is the super most important thing these days, because if you are going to produce something that is not required by the customers, then what will happen, that sooner or later your product will be obsoleted from the market, and obviously you never want that. So what you will do, you will try to produce the products that are the needs of the customers. For that, you obviously will be identifying the needs first. Once you identify the needs of the customers, you will be producing something. Now what you will do, you will purchase the resources and produce the goods. So what are the resources? Resources are the factors of production. If you recall, we did this concept in IGCSE. What are the factors of production? It's here. They are land, labor, capital and enterprise. So what's a land? Anything that are the natural resources. Any natural resources in the business, they are land. Any people, any skilled or unskilled labor that are involved in the business, they are labor. Then capital, any machinery, money, anything that help you create money, help you do the business is capital. Okay, it's capital. Then what are the capital goods? Capital goods are computer, machines, factory, offices and vehicles. Other than that, what is enterprise? Enterprise is basically a driving force, a force, or you can say it's a person, or it's an idea or strategies that will keep the business running, keep the business going. How the business being planned, how the business is going to be put into execution, that is basically enterprise. Okay, so the combination of these four things makes a business. So factor of production is involved in every business. Some business might have more land, less labor, more capital, less labor, but the combination of these things you will always find in every business. Another concept that we will be talking about is the concept of creating or adding value. So what is creating or adding value? The business aims to create value by selling goods and services for a higher price than cost of bought-in material. This is called creating value. So how you will be creating value? You will buy resources. Okay, let's say you will buy eggs. You will put your efforts, make a scrambled egg or omelette. It means it's creating value, it's adding value. You get a simple resource, a basic raw material, and then put your efforts, idea, take a risk, and then that's how you'll be creating value in this. So whenever anything that's in which you have added the value, you have already put in some value by putting your efforts, ideas, what happened? The price for that thing as compared to the price for which you bought that thing, it's increased. Okay, so we'll see one example. I'll get back to that thing again. I just want to show you the example. Cost of inputs material. So you got bricks and the sand, cement and everything, wood. Okay, obviously the price for this thing would not be very high. It would cost you something, but not as compared to this. Okay, so you use these things, resources you purchased, and out of this you put your efforts, you started making, use labor, and then this is the finished product. So you will be selling this house for maybe 5 to 10 times for the cost of this, isn't it? Or maybe 6 to 7 times according to the area where this house is, and keeping many things in mind. So adding value increase the worth of that thing, because you put ideas, you put efforts, you make it new. So that's why it increase the price or value of that thing. Okay, let's move to this page again. Now we already know what's a capital good, we know what is creating value, what is the added value. Okay, added value is the difference between the cost of the purchasing bought-in materials and the price of the finished goods. So what is added value? That it's a difference basically. You purchase cement for maybe 100 reals, and out of the cement and let's say wood and cement and rocks, you got all these things maybe for 5,000 real, and then you made a house and maybe you will sell that house for 100,000 real. So this is the difference. This difference is added value. Okay, so some businesses have more added value and some businesses have less added value. If you are going to add more creativity in your business, or there are many other things, this will create a difference in the value. Okay, so guys, now what we are going to be studying, what a business needs. What are the things that the business need? So what business need? Obviously business needs a land, site for a building, or a raw material. Okay, the place where you will be placing your business, starting your business, establishing your business. Then you need a raw material. It could be anything. It could be fruits if you are a let's say a food business. It could be if you're a restaurant, it could be meat or anything. It could be a fabric. You know that fabric is a natural resource, right? It could be a fabric if it's a boutique. It could be stones if you're a jewelry store. So raw materials. What else business need? Business obviously need customers. Business cannot survive without having customers. Suppliers, from where you will be getting resources. You cannot produce or solely get every single resource in this world, isn't it? You will be getting the resources from the suppliers. Labor. Then what business need? Obviously business cannot work alone. Business need to have some labor. Business need to have labor. Okay, what else business need? Business needs capital. What is a capital? It's a finance, factories, offices, machines, any kind of machinery that is involved in the business, money that is being involved in the business, factories and offices that are being involved in the business. All these things are capital. Other than that, what business need? Business needs rail, airports, government. Oh, sorry. And so, what business need? First of all, the government. So, why the business need government? I'm going to explain you that. That it's not possible that the business will operate alone. Okay, they need support. And what kind of support they need? They need a government support. Okay, they need roads and railway. Obviously they need a proper infrastructure through which they will be producing. Roads will allow the business to transport here and there, isn't it? Then law and order. Without law and order, you cannot process. What people will start stealing your things, start destroying your business, start harming you. There should be law and order. It's very important. Business government will be provide school, colleges, maybe recreational activities, parks, many other things. So obviously business needs government, a proper stable government. Then what else business need? Enterprise. Obviously a business require enterprise. A business should have an enterprise. A business cannot work without a decision making, without coordinating, without risk taking, without planning, without you can say critically thinking. There are lot of things that a business needs to do. Okay, so business needs enterprise. So these are the all basic things, or a very important things you can say, that business needs whatsoever, and without these things business cannot work. Okay, now to be paid, and usually a profit must be made to justify staying in operation. The concept of creating added value can be illustrated by a given example. So we already discussed this example here, right? That getting the raw material, making a house, and you will be making more money, it's added value. So what is a very important thing that we need to discuss here is, from the value created or added by the business, other costs have to be paid. So you always have to remember that when you create the value, the price has been increased, but that price is not your profit. Okay, that price is never your profit. Okay, why it's never your profit? Because let's say you got this material for 5,000 real and you sold the house for 50,000 real. Okay, this is added value. But when you get this 50,000 real, you need to pay for this thing, you need to pay for the labor, you need to pay for the taxes. So added value is not profit. But when you use the word profit, whenever you use the word profit, what does it mean? It means that you have subtracted all your cost, then the money that is left is your profit, and it's for you to enjoy. You do not have any liability, any cost on your head with the profit. But when you talk about the added value, it has all the cost already involved. You just increase the price and you're selling it because you added the value. Okay, so this is the very important point, that added value is never same as profit. Never same as profit. Okay, added value is always higher than the profit, because added value is the total price of something. You haven't deducted any cost from it. But if you're going to talk about profit, you have already deducted the cost. So obviously it will be way lower than added value. Okay, so never overestimate yourself, or never get so happy when you sell something that your added value is so high. It's good your added value is high, that it will give you a high profit, but added value is never a profit, right? Let's see what else we have. We have two other examples, and then the next class we'll do a Zoom session. We'll be reviewing the topics that we have studied, and we'll talk about opportunity cost. So here are two examples of different business could create added value. Now always remember, every business have a different idea of creating value. Every business will be creating a value in a very different way. So what are the ways for adding value? Let's see. Jewelers, how the jewelers create value? They try to have a very well designed shop. Okay, they have a very beautiful display, they have attractive fittings, most of the people, they are very knowledgeable and they're very well dressed. Obviously you're going to a jewelry store, you will be spending maybe 70,000, 80,000 real. For example, if you are buying a diamond ring, it will cost you a lot, or something very expensive. So when the customers are coming there, they want to see someone sophisticated, intelligent, knowledgeable. Okay, so they should be properly dressed. Secondly, the boxes should be beautiful. Obviously, if I'm paying like 80,000, 70,000 real for my jewelry, I want something appealing and attractive. I want a nice box in which they will give me my jewelry, right? Other than that, if you're going to talk about the sweet packaging, they have attractive packaging, but obviously their packaging will not be very expensive because the worth of the good is less than this. Other than that, their, you can say their staff will not be extremely educated. They can have a decent person with a decent personality, knowing knowing a little bit about their products, but there's no need to have extremely knowledgeable staff, because it's just a candy, it's just a sweet store. So people will not be very much conscious about everything there. Okay, but obviously hygiene is very important, attractive packaging is important, brand is important, all these things are very important. So guys, I'll be assigning you one homework that you will be doing. We have already finished the concept of creating added value. If you have any questions, you can discuss with me in our Zoom session. So I want you to do this activity. We already discussed how the jewelry shops and sweet manufacturers have a different idea of creating added value and why. Now I want you to think about these 4 businesses. Try to write, explain in your own words how these 3 businesses would create value, and it would differ from each other. Okay, we are done with today's lesson. I'll see you tomorrow in another lesson. That's opportunity cost, inshallah. Take care. Bye bye, girls.